I want to play you a clip from UK Prime Minister Liz Truss, because she says a lot of Brits, and you said it earlier, they're cheering Trump on in his lawsuit. Have a listen.
There are lots of people in Britain who are cheering President Trump on and who want him to sue the BBC because they're a huge problem. They've lied, they've cheated, they've fiddled with footage, both in the case of President Trump, but also covering up what's happening in Britain, whether it's mass migration, whether it's our economic problems. They are always biased towards the left, and the British taxpayer has had to pay for all of this fake news.
So there you go, former PM Liz Truss. The irony here, of course, is that if Trump is successful in suing the BBC, it's British taxpayers who'll have to foot the bill, right?
Well, hopefully not, James, because yes, on paper, we'd be on the hook for those millions of dollars, and it's likely that there will be some kind of settlement. I don't think Donald is going to get his $5 billion, but he may get several million, as he did from 2 US broadcasters after they misrepresented him. And I think the money has got to come from the budget of the BBC, which is enormous. OK, so overall they receive around £3.5 billion from taxpayers and an extra $2 billion from selling their formats around the world. So they got deep pockets. All they got to do to settle any bill is to cut the salaries of their overpaid stars who would never get that kind of cash in the private sector, and to get rid of some of those middle managers swanning around in Armani suits who do very little for an enormous amount of cash.
All right, moving on from the BBC, I want to ask you about Prime Minister Keir Starmer. Will he take the government to the next election? His personal approval rating is the lowest of any PM since 1977, and the government's vote is at 18%. There are reports today that former Deputy Leader Angela Rayner has been promising cabinet positions in exchange for support at a leadership tilt. How serious is this?
It's very serious indeed. Since Labour won the election in July of 2024, everything has got worse in the country. Unemployment is up, inflation is up, government borrowing is up, and growth is down. The guy is struggling. He's not a gifted communicator, but if the metrics were better, if the economy was growing, if people felt like we were going in the right direction, he'd be okay. But what you got is a perfect storm of his political ineptitude and the raw numbers. So I do think he's on borrowed time. Just before I came on air, a political insider told me, very close to the number 10 machine, that he's got less than a year. There are major elections in May of next year, local elections around the country. Labour expected to be eviscerated, at which point he's under pressure. And there is this flame-haired politician who's sitting on the backbenches called Angela Rayner, who in many ways is a sort of Trumpian figure on the left. She's fearless, she's confident, she's charismatic, and she's got her eye on the big job. And let me tell you, James, stranger things have happened.
Well, just quickly, we're about to go to a break, but if she was to be successful, I mean, would voters find her more palatable than Sir Keir Starmer?
Well, she's a more gifted communicator. She's more charismatic. She's great at making headlines. And she's got a great backstory, having had humble origins, rather than being a dusty lawyer like Keir Starmer. But the problem you've got, this is deck chairs on the Titanic, James.
Right.
If she replaces Starmer, we're going to probably shift more to the left on immigration and the economy, which means things will get worse rather than better. So whatever happens, Starmer's probably got a year max, and Labour will be out at the next election. No question about that whatsoever.
Mark Dolan, I really enjoyed talking to you. Thanks so much for joining me tonight. It's an absolute pleasure to have you on the program.